What's up, guys? It's CardRiser here. I'm here to bring you a Nova Grappler deck profile. I like to consider this as a conservative Nova Grappler build, pretty much. This isn't very aggro. I feel like it's a very aggressive build. Not a very aggressive. It can be aggressive, it felt like it, but it's a very conservative one. And by conservative, I mean it builds up a lot of more resources, gives you a little bit of more hand advantage, gives you a little bit more field control. Other than, going for a straight push. So yeah, let's get on with the build. Originally I was running one White Tiger. I was running it for the event last Saturday, which was kickoff August 4th. And it was doing its work, but I just didn't like it enough to keep it. I mean, it was a good card, but it just didn't use its effect enough. I don't run Beast Deities other than Age of Dragons, so I felt like it as a standing Vanguard wasn't going to do a lot of work, and I was right, it just didn't do a lot of work. I did get its effect off if I got Age of Dragon as a rear guard early game, but other than that, it doesn't do a lot. I was going to show it, but I actually have no idea where it is. I think I left it in the deck box, and I put it in a bag, and I can't find the bag, so now I have no idea where it is. Either way, I was going to take it out. So yeah, on with the rest of the build. For the grade 0 lineup, I ran 4 Battle Risers. Yeah, 4 Battle Risers, of course. If you don't run Battle Risers in Nova Grapplers, something's wrong with you. Honestly, my most favorite card in the game. This thing's amazing. I love this card so much. This is pretty much the whole reason I made Nova Grapplers. My friend told me I should play. I looked through his binder, and this is the card that stood out. I fell in love with this card. Actually, he gave me that actual card when I told him I wanted to make Nova Grapplers. He said they weren't good. I didn't care. I made them. Now I think that they're going to be amazing when the next set comes out. So yeah, 4 Battle Risers. For obvious reasons. They recycle. They are 10k guards. They put in a lot of work. They make the deck work. This is what makes Nova Grapplers pretty much. So yeah, best card in the deck. Next to Asura Kaisers, but I'll get to that later. And 4 Turbo Risers, which is exactly the same thing as Battle Riser. The only thing is it's a different name and it's a different picture. Pretty much the exact same thing. It's a little cheat for Nova Grapplers. It lets us run 8 copies of the exact same card. Again, different names, different pictures. It's the exact same thing. And then I run the 4 Draw Triggers. Draw Triggers are amazing in this deck. These things keep me alive. These things keep me alive. They ward off small attacks and they build up a hand. I'd run like maybe 2 more if we had one more. If we had like one more draw trigger. We only have this. 3 minutes is the only draw trigger that Nova Grapplers have at the moment. I'm not sure if we get another one. I'm not really caught up with all of the sets yet. But yeah, this is the only thing we have right now for draw triggers, and it does its work. 4 is enough. I feel like 6 would be a lot better, but 4 is enough. So yeah. And of course, we run the 4. Trying to get away from me. Heal triggers. I really hate this card, but at the same time, I love it because, like, those God heals that you draw, like when you're about to lose, they come in. I think this card is just a bitch. Honestly, she's a bitch. She comes at the wrong time. I keep drawing it in there, and she never shows up when I want her to. I'm waiting for the next heal, and I'll switch her out for that. But yeah, it's 4 heal trigger, very standard in any build. So yeah. And then we run the 4 Perfect Guards, which are 4, Twin Bladers. Some people told me to run 3, but with the amount of grade 3s that I'm holding, I felt 4 was enough because they make sure that the grade 3s in my hand aren't just all dead. So yeah. They also get rid of like draw triggers that are in my hand that won't do anything. Oh shoot. 3 Reporters. Forgot. I took the other one out. 3 Reporters, because Reporters are nice. They help me keep a hand. And they're a really nice card. They bounce back to the hand if they hit the or if they boost a unit and that unit hits the Vanguard. So yeah, very great card. Helps you keep a hand. Early game, it's nice. Late game, maybe not so much. It isn't like that great of a booster. It's only like 6k, but considering the way my deck runs, it doesn't hit a lot of magic numbers. So yeah, this is a good card. And to Cradle Mechanics. Good card. I was this, Screaming Out to Shouts or Queens. I went with this because I don't like Screaming Out to Shouts. That just is a minus, I believe, because you're resting a unit and then you have to... You're resting a unit and then you have to ditch card, and then I always find myself drawing into my triggers, and I do not like that. Plus, you won't be able to get to boost with it. And people say, yeah, but you're gonna stand it anyway. And I'm like, yeah, but I'd rather, you know, stand... I'd rather stand... a rear guard in the first column. So this did its work. This helped me, you know, get that little push if I needed Brutal Jacks to be a little bit more playable. I remember one I had 5 damage. They were all flipped. Smack one of these guys down. Play Brutal Jack. Made Brutal Jack playable again. So yeah. And then 4 Tough Boys. Tough Boys are cool. Tough Boys are like awesome. No, I'm kidding. Well, yeah, they are awesome. But 8Ks, 8K boosters, standard pretty much. Again, artwork, it's amazing. Love this. Love this and Battle Riser, both amazing cards. I get standard in most builds, so yeah. And then 4 Brutal Jacks. This is a proxy because my friend lent me a Brutal Jack. Then he said I can keep the Brutal Jack. And then he said he needed it to play his friend, and I forgot to get it back. So I just threw this instead. Anyway, Brutal Jack, amazing card. 11k, grade 2 interceptor. Cost is okay. I unflip a little bit, not enough to, you know, get this, not enough for this to stay on the field for very long. I actually hope sometimes that they do get rid of this thing because, you know, it just can't stay on the field for too long. I hate retiring things. I feel like I'm just, you know, not helping myself when I retire my own units. So I do hope that this thing does, you know, leave the field. I either intercept with it or I let it die. So, but Brutal Jack is amazing. No Nova Grappler deck is complete without Brutal Jack. And then the 4 Kings. 4 Kings, standard stuff. Again, 10k. People told me to run the Queens. I didn't like the Queens. Probability of drawing into Queens and a King were very slim, so I didn't want to run them. And I guess my tech would be these guys, Magician Girl, Kirawas. They are good cards. This is pretty much a hit, counterblast 2, draw. It's a fact I get off most games. I get off a lot. Funny story, I actually thought this thing had to hit the Vanguard for me to get the effect off. But no, it actually just has to hit anything, pretty much. That's what I get for not reading. I actually went in to kick off thinking that, and I think if I knew that, I probably would have done a little better. But I'll tell you guys how I did after this. So, again, good card. Good artwork, too. This is probably one of the better artworks I've seen in Vanguard. And 3, Aether Dragon. I don't focus this build on Aether Dragon. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even run this card, but I can't think of any other better grade 3s to run. I guess it's kind of weird for me saying that, but yeah. These cards go to work. I don't like it hitting the Vanguard circle too much, so it doesn't see a lot of play. This usually hits the rear guard, and I use White Tiger to stand it again. But again, that's usually early game, and that's if I have it in hand. If I have 2, then I guess I'll run it. If I have 2 in hand, I'll hit the Vanguard. It'll hit the Vanguard circle, and try to get this effect off early game. That way, it's not just a dead card in hand anymore. So yeah. I was actually running only 2 at the time of kickoff. This was actually a 4th Moai. And this is funny because like, this was my Vanguard and this was in hand. Out of the 2 cards of this copy, I had both of them. I wiped his hand clean, and he thought his turn was up. He got through with 5 damage, and I drove check nothing. Slapped this guy down into the retire zone, or into the drop zone, stood 2 more units, went for a game. Good thing he didn't pull a heal trigger. I would have been fucked if he, oh, sorry about the language. I would have been screwed if he actually had another turn. I only had 2 cards in, and one of them was a grade 3, so yeah, that would have been bad. Would have lost that, but Aether Dragon comes through. Anyway, 3 Moais. Good card when boosted with not Brutal Jacks, Tough Boys. This becomes a 20k with Tough Boys. This is actually the most powerful any of my cards can get. 20. Like seriously, it can only go up to 20. My attack range is between 15 and 20. It's usually not. That's not what I'm focused on. The more I give power is after I drive check and I stand units. This thing can go up to 30. So it gets pretty scary sometimes if I drive check double stand. So yeah. And the king of the deck, Asura Kaisers. Asura Kaisers, honestly, the second best card in this game, or in this deck, next to Battle Riser. That's weird because like Turbo Res is the exact same thing, but I'm not going to compare it to that. This turns every grade 3 into a stand trigger, even if you can't, like, standing, this deck stands all day, every day. That is my catchphrase. I say that a lot. Turns every grade 3 into a stand trigger, plus stand triggers. Again, amazing card. Gets everything off, lets you attack a lot more in a turn. Great card. Favorite card. Best grade 3, I believe. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much my deck build. It's not very, I guess, generic. I tried to be a little bit unique. I spent probably a week building this deck. Not building it. I've had Nova Grapplers ever since I started playing, which was about 2 months ago. But I started, I really wanted to do well at kickoff, so I really spent last week just building this deck, playtesting this deck, switching out cards and everything. And I did a lot better than I thought. Nova Grapplers aren't exactly competitive yet, so I actually did a lot better than I thought. This deck does run very well the way I play it. To me, if you are going to build it, I'd say build it, play slow, play smart. Your hardest matchups are like Goku Control, Kagero, anything with like a lot of push early, like Goku Control and Gold Paladin. So yeah, again, this is a very conservative build. It's subject to change when the new set comes out this Saturday. I won't be able to get it. I won't be able to get the cards, but by next week it should be finished, and I might do an update on that. Well, I probably will. As for the kickoff, I went into team battle with my team Nova Feather, which is pretty much 2 Nova Grapplers and 1 Angel Feather. We went in round 1. Both my teammates lost their match. I won the first one. We went in the second round. My other friend who ran Nova Grapplers won his match. I won my match, and my Angel Feather friend lost. And then in going into the third round, we all just got wiped. Those guys were really good. They were all running Gold Paladin. It wasn't the cheap kind. So yeah, the event was a lot of fun. We got a lot of good experience. Meet a lot of new people. It was pretty good. Got a lot of trades in. Got stuff for cheap. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll bring you a lot more content. As a side note, remember to check out locals. If you guys are ever in the Torrance area, go check out Cardzilla and 8-Ball Cards and Games. Zilla, every Sunday we have Vanguard tournaments, so you guys should really check those out. I'm gonna try to hit locals probably sometime next week. See if anybody wants to help give some content for the channel. Hopefully someone will. So yeah, guys. Hope you enjoy this. Go Nova Grapplers. See you guys next time.